Hello, should you be buying sim racing products from AliExpress? No, sim racing products. Anyway, let's have a look. Hello and welcome. What will we be looking at today? All these products you see here in front of you is available on AliExpress. And yeah, they range from, very cheap. I think this handbrake was 35 euros delivered, including shipping. I mean, you can't expect much. And then we've got this is honestly, stay tuned to watch us because this is my favorite accessory that I bought in 2023, and it is amazing. If this thing should break today, I will buy one again yesterday. Not, you know what I mean. I'll buy another one. And then I've got the SimJack Pro pedals. Okay, I will be this won't be full in-depth review. I will just quickly have a look over everything, and then I will give you my opinion. And we will be starting here with the handbrake, and then we will move over to the pedals, and I would leave my favorite little piece of equipment here till last. Let's get in. Okay, the handbrake. Listen here, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. There are loads of these available on AliExpress. Now, listen, when I picked it up the first time, and you touch the the aluminium and things, it actually surprises me that you can buy something like this for 35 euros, and yeah, but that doesn't mean you should, because I'll be honest with you, this piece of equipment here, I would not even give away, I would not even give this to anybody because, yeah, it's just not fit for purpose in my opinion. Look at this handle, the grip on there won't last you a month or two, and yeah, just the way it operates, I'll show you here. It's not as accurate. The whole feeling of this handbrake, it just doesn't feel that good. Now, you can adjust the height. This is as high as it goes. You can make it lower, and yeah, that's about the extent of this handbrake. I mean, a handbrake is a handbrake after all. However, the feeling you get from pulling this is so linear and so boring and so bland. Yeah, and then as well, you have to pull it to about there before it starts to recognize the input, in the sim. And then, you're not left with a lot of travel. And it's almost like when I get to the end of it, then there's a slight drop off. Now, I'm sure with some software tweaks and stuff, you can, make that a little bit better. However, plainly put, this is one of the products you should avoid on AliExpress, especially the 35 euro ones. I've seen there's ones on there for 70 or 80 euros, but, and they look the part, obviously, but I would just say go and buy yourself a Mozart Racing handbrake. Okay, they are not very expensive. It's about 2.5 times the price of this. So yeah, it is a situation of maybe buy once, cry once, but if you buy cheap, you're definitely going to buy twice, 100%. This thing won't last you, and quite frankly, that there is, I would say, it might be 2.5 times the price of this, but it is definitely 5 times the product of this. Okay. Okay, we are in iRacing. Now, I'm going to shift with my right hand here and steer with my left. My space is very limited to actually film this handbrake for you guys. So if I shift with my left hand or use my left hand, you can see I'm blocking your view. So I'll be driving like this and just, using my handbrake with my right hand. I couldn't be bothered mounting it on this side because then I had to take off the handbrake that is already fitted on here, and it's just too much effort for something that I know won't be staying on my rig. Now, I want to show you this. Look here, my input here, if you look at my inputs here just above the dash, the orange line, that represents the handbrake, and as you can see, look at the little travel I've got here. It is from nothing to full is about an inch, I would say. And yeah, I've tried to find software for this thing. I can't I tried to calibrate it on numerous ways, calibrated in iRacing, and I just can't get it. So it was actually better out of the box, and I made it worse. So yeah, unfortunately it is what it is. Let's go anyway. We're just gonna have a turn or two here. We're not gonna drag this out. It's not impossible to use this handbrake, however it's not definitely not ideal. So the game sound definitely drowned out my audio, so I'm just doing a little voiceover. As you can see, it's very easy to get sideways, you know, but that's the problem. It's just too easy. That short travel makes it very hard to be accurate with this handbrake. However, I'm no expert at this, as you can see, I'm sure, but for illustration purposes, it just goes to show that you know, you can still use this handbrake, but it's not the best option. The SimJack Pro pedals. Now listen here, look at these reviews. What do these reviews tell you? I mean, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Okay, but it's value for money. These pedals here, for 3 pedals, it cost me about 185 euros. Delivered to my door, including shipping and taxes. You know what I mean? And it's not like it feels cheap. This is 3mm thick stainless steel, and yeah, there's a few adjustments you can make on these pedals. There's not loads of adjustments now, so it's not a 600 euro set of pedals. However, you can change the angle of your pedal, and you can change the travel of the pedal, how far you want it to go in, and yeah, you do not get any extra elastomers with the brake. I do see, however, that you can buy elastomers from the SimJack store. Anyway, yeah, from my first impression picking these up, and when I took it out of the box, I was seriously surprised that these only cost 185 euros, and it's a 200 kilos load cell on this pedal. So also, what is very good to know is that these pedals here, you can actually put, there's already brackets on Etsy. I'll put a link below. I've got no affiliation with a link, it's just a link. But you can put the SimMagic, you know, haptic feedback, you know, the shaker, you can put on the back of this. Let's just do that now. That's it. And listen, now you've got a pedal with haptic feedback, and all that for, what, 300 euros? You know, if you compare any other pedal set at that price point, you know, and you're talking of haptics and stuff, they don't get close. I wish there was something like this on the market when I started sim racing. These are fantastic pedals to start out with. These SimJack pedals here, they obviously look the part. But do they perform as well as what they look? I mean, essentially, that is the most important thing. You could be buying pedals for 50 euros. If they do not perform well, then, well, I mean, they don't perform well. So let's see. And I'm hoping that these are as good as what everybody's saying. Let's have a look. So coming up to turn 1 at Laguna Seca, and yeah, I'm trying to brake at about 75% and then just trail brake down a little bit, and as you can see, the brakes are doing it perfectly. I feel whatever my feet are telling the pedals to do is translated quite well in the sim. Even the smaller just dabs on the brake, you can see very nice and smooth, and on this corner here you'll see a bit of throttle input. Now the throttle under my foot I would like to feel a little bit smoother. I think with maybe upgrading springs or something like that you can achieve that. And yeah, you can see even at these lower braking high speed turns, it just works. There's nothing wrong with these pedals. I'm absolutely amazed at how well these work. Look at the trail braking. Been stuck behind this number 1 car, the Red Bull, for quite a few laps. Luckily, the number 10 car ahead makes a mistake. Now, the Red Bull car passes this 10 with ease. However, he cuts me off quite abruptly, and I'm trying to match his speed as quickly as I can, chancing the right, see it's not happening. As he pushes on the brake, I dab on my accelerator, get alongside him, and I'm on the brakes, nice and steady. As you can see by the curve, the pedals did their jobs perfectly. Here it is in real time. and I tell you something now, I could not be any smoother or make this pass any better even if I was racing on $1,000 set of pedals. So it just goes to show you, you do not need to spend the earth to have a decent set of pedals and to have fun sim racing. And I can show you how to make these pedals even better. So just stay till the end of the video and I'll show you how. The RaceLogic Replica. Yes, this is a replica. Surprise, surprise, from AliExpress. But this is a very, very good replica. Even the wire that goes on the side looks like the real thing. Unlike the real thing, this cost 210 euros roughly delivered, which is a lot cheaper than the real thing, which is, I think, like 1,200 euros plus. Now, yes, you can use that in a real race car, and this you can't. How many of us really have a real race car? So, this is obviously a very much affordable route. I think it looks amazing in your sim rig, and it just, you see these little boxes in all the sim cars you race nearly. I'll show you a few here. So, for that price and what it can do, and unlike the real thing, this actually is tailored for the sim market. It's got a V-Core screen that's touchscreen in the back. These buttons are also functional. They don't just look pretty, and they feel very, very good. The whole case is made out of anodized aluminium, and by all means, this does not feel like something that you bought from AliExpress. And yeah, like I said, if this breaks today, I will be buying another one later today. It is really a good piece of equipment and very helpful. So let's have a look. Let me start you off here in the Formula 4 car, and there's quite a few cars, a handful of cars in iRacing or in other sims that they do not display the brake bias on the screen, and the only way that you know what your current brake bias would be is if you pull up this screen here. Hold on, okay, over there, and we bring in this in-game, your black box, and now I can see my brake bias is set to 58%. But how many times have you been racing and you're racing and you don't know what your brake bias is, and now you're fiddling with your mouse and you're trying to get these arrows here, so that you can get to your brake bias settings? This is what this screen is fantastic for. It cancels that problem out completely. Now give me a second. Now I'm going to switch to a camera here next to me so that you can see how you, even in the F4 car, any car that doesn't display any information or very little information, that this little box here is going to show everything, no matter what. Okay, now you are seeing what I am seeing. Nowhere on the screen it shows me my brake bias. However, if I now change my brake bias, look here. Doesn't matter what I change it to, it pops up on the screen, and I can be racing, and doesn't matter what adjustments I make, it pops up at this screen and it's just a glance away. It's just enough there to catch your eye. That's why I think this accessory is very, very nice. Let me show you some of the other screens and some of the other information that this thing will show you during a race. It is an amazing little device. So this screen here is my idle screen, and whenever you're not in a race, this is the screen that you will be seeing. As soon as you join a race, you'll see your engine off screen, and it will quickly show you your traction control and then the engine on, followed by your pit limiter. Now if a pit limiter was on, it would have been green. As you can see here, we're changing the brake bias, and it takes up the entire screen, so it's very, very nice and clear. Changing the traction control up and down, same with the ABS, it works perfectly. Now this is your in-lap screen. Whenever you leave the pits for the first lap, when you're warming your tires, that is the screen you will be seeing. Also, I want to point out, now it's not very clear, but in the top right hand corner, that little green box, it actually shows you how many laps of fuel you have left. This is only estimated, obviously, on your usage. And then you can see we started a lap. Now the lap counter is counting. The LED lights at the top are your delta lights. So the top left one is for your current sector. And if that is red, then you are lapping slower than what in that sector than what you did on the previous lap. And then obviously when it's green like now, you are improving in that sector compared to the previous lap. The top right light is exactly the same. However, that is the entire lap, or all the sectors put together. So your entire lap, and if it's red, you're going slower than what you did your last lap. And if it goes green, then you are lapping faster than what you did your last lap. So just at a glance, you can look down and you can see whether you're actually driving faster or slower in either the sector or the last lap that you have performed. Now, there's a lot of other screens that I'm not showing you here. I'm just showing you the most useful. I will most likely make a full review of this product later on. Definitely one thing I learned on AliExpress. Yes, you can get value for money. And yeah, you definitely can buy some products from AliExpress. It's not as dangerous as I thought it was. A year or two ago, I would never even have considered it. However, yeah, you can find some gems on there. Let's start with the Handbrake. Honestly, if you're really in a pickle and you don't want to spend some money, yes, you can use this. However, I would just rather put that money towards, like I said earlier, the Moser handbrake. And listen here, I've got a bit of a handbrake fetish. I mean, as you can see, I've got a ton of them. And I'm actually working on the ultimate handbrake review, where I'll be putting them to the test, like 8 of them against one another. So if you want to see that, subscribe. Anyway, yeah, I would give this a miss. I know there are some that have cost about 80 euros on AliExpress. I can't speak to any of those, but for this one that you pay 30 odd euros for, 35 delivered, I would just give it a miss. Rather save your money and buy something like the Moser. And honestly, this Moser one, I'm actually shocked at what you get for the money they are selling it at. It is a fantastic little handbrake. Okay, put this aside. The RaceLogic SimPush display. Listen here, obviously buy something like that when you already have everything. When you have the pedals and the steering wheel and the direct drive wheelbase and the rig and you know whatnot. It is an accessory. It is not a must. However, it is a really nice accessory. I find myself looking at that little screen every single lap. It is amazing the information it can relay to you. Now, you can actually have something similar to that and it'll cost you nothing. Yeah, nothing. You can download a dashboard on SimHub and it actually looks like this. I'll show you. Have a look here. And yeah, you can use that. There's no wires, no fuss. Just find a way to mount your phone onto your rig and simsalabim. You got the same information and you're just using your phone. It works just as great, and you know, it just adds something extra. But if you want the physical unit, listen, as for the quality of the screen and the aluminium housing, it is honestly very good. I would suggest, if it's something that you are looking at, I would say go ahead, treat yourself. Okay, on to these. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. These really did take me by surprise. For the money, I doubt you're gonna find much better than these. I had a blast using these pedals. I had good races, I had bad races. It's just standard. The bad races were definitely not the pedals' fault, but my fault. Anyway, the quality and everything you get for the money is amazing. Listen, the clutch, I'll be honest, if you see this thing over here that they try and make a 2-stage so that you can feel the clutch engaging, I don't feel that under my foot at all. I just feel the pedal you know, going down. However, for the price, what, extra 30 euro, you might as well just add it to your bag, whether you're going to use it or not. It might be easier to sell these on if you eventually upgrade, if you have 3 pedals. So, yeah, I definitely can highly recommend these pedals. Now, if you want to make these pedals even better, and I think you can get them very close, if not maybe possibly a little bit better with the 200 kilogram load cells and these using those sprints, go watch these 2 videos. I'm going to link them over here. These 2 videos here. Now, this is for Sim Racing Corner. This guy does fantastic work. He can explain this a lot better than I ever could. So go and look his review. He shows you how you can turn these pedals into absolute banging set of pedals. And if you are interested in these, I would go that route. As always, you know, if you want to see more, subscribe. If not, adios.